So here we are. While I'm doing this, everybody is watching me because nobody else has anything of value to do with their time, so they're watching me do this race recap. We're standing in the land of stroopwafels, gray skies, and dirty bikes. This is what it's like riding your bike every day. Anyway, I'm here to bring you the race recap from Nationals. Sorry it's a little late. We landed on Tuesday, and it's been tough getting over the time change. I had a PR on Monday into Tuesday and stayed up for 38 hours, and then consequently had a PR on Tuesday night and slept for 14. It's Friday. Tomorrow we start the first race of our time here in Europe with the Rookfin World Cup, and then Namur on Sunday. Before we get into those races, I wanted to step back and talk about Nationals. So here it is, the 2021 Cantigny Park Cyclocross Nationals recap. So obviously Nationals is the biggest race of the year, all eyes on this event, and in terms of, priority from racers, I think everybody puts top priority on this race, including me. So I had high expectations coming off of Pan Ams. We kind of knew where everybody stood in terms of fitness, and so the big eyes were on Brunner, Gage, Curtis, and myself. I don't know if you guys watched the CX Heat Check, but the order that it placed us in for the finish was Brunner, Gage, Curtis, and myself. I was personally a little choked by that, so I was looking forward to getting out on track and kind of proving some people wrong. The track itself was really cool. Didn't get a ton of time on course just because it is Nationals and it is a little bit of a show. There is just race after race all week long. The biggest open course time was like 20 minutes. Rain coming in on Friday. The course changed, so it didn't make a ton of sense to get a lot of laps in early. Anyway, so it froze overnight on Saturday night, and Sunday morning it started thawing out a bit. Sunday we saw one of the better days of weather, 45 degrees, partly cloudy, and so throughout the day that freeze thaw was just getting drier and drier and drier. The U23 men's race, they were running a lot into the elite women's race, who Emily said even throughout the course of her race, they were running less and less of the course. And then finally into our race, where I think there was only 2 small sections that we had to run. Off the start, I found myself in a really good spot. I was sitting second wheel behind Steven, where I wanted to be. We got off the pavement and I was still there, and then in the first corner off the grass, I found Steven drifting back and I got stuck behind him, and that was when a big swarm came right before the sand pit. So big emphasis on hitting the sand pit first, which was freshly tilled and super deep. Unfortunately, kind of got stuck behind people moving backwards and came out of the sand pit like potentially in 10th place, maybe outside of the top 10. From there it was like pretty heavy pedaling to get to pit 1. I really did give myself a lot of work to do after that sand pit and that first section of mud. Probably 15 seconds down by pit 1, which was only a minute and a half, 2 minutes into the race. We traversed over to the big hill section where most of the people were cheering, and I saw this huge gap, which was really the biggest flaw of my race. Once those guys got away, there was no bringing them back. Burning those matches early meant I was now in the battle for 4th place. So it was me, Brendan Fix, Caleb Swartz, and Lance battling there on the second lap, trying to sort out who was going to get 4th place. I was really bummed about this. I had pretty high expectations coming into the race. I wanted to do really well, and because of that, I lost a lot of fight. My motivation was lacking there after the first lap, and it kind of showed. I was kind of just going through the motions. It was like that for about the next 3 laps. Surfing Brennan's wheel, we brought Caleb back, who had a bit of a gap on us, and then we spent the middle of the race kind of just sussing each other out. The whole middle part of the race was kind of mitigating the damage done from these small little accelerations and then mess ups where it would come back. And so you really had to keep a calm, cool, kind of collected demeanor. With 3 laps to go, Caleb and I kind of got away from Lance and Brennan, and so then it was just us battling for the back half of the race. The laps were 10 minutes long. I think we ended up doing 7. I think Brunner came in at just over 108. The last rider not to get pulled came in at 118. It was a long lap. Coming into 2 laps to go, I knew that I really wanted to at least get 4th place, and everybody cheering kind of helped really push me into that, you know, get me out of my pouty pants mood of like not being on the podium. And I came into the big hill section where there was some punchier efforts, and I really got on top of the gas and put a little bit of daylight between Caleb and I. From there, I just punched it where I knew I had better lines from him than previous laps and built my gap up to about 10-15 seconds. And then coming into 1 lap to go, I knew I just had to stay smooth. I was taking a bike every time we came through pit 1, so big props to Spencer on making sure I had a bike every lap. That was pretty crucial. Getting that new bike out of pit 1 just felt amazing. Felt like I was pedaling a brand new light machine. Not a whole lot of excitement. The gaps were really big, and once they happened, they tended to stay there. Brunner got away early and then kept it there. A good battle was between Gage and Curtis, who Gage went out pretty hard. I think Curtis then bridged back up to him towards the last lap of the race, and then Gage had a shoe mechanical after a wipeout, and then I think Curtis got the gap back and just kind of rode just out of Gage's reach for the rest of the lap. So that was a good battle, and then between Caleb and I, we had a good battle until about 1 lap to go. Not a whole lot of excitement. Coming to the line in fragments, and that was Cross Nationals 2021. Anyway, we're over here in Europe. We got a lot more races to go, starting tomorrow with Ruckfin, Namur on Sunday, and then we have a pretty long break. We don't race again until the following Sunday after Christmas at Dendermonde with another World Cup. So 3 World Cups in a row. And then we get into the meat of Kertsperiode. So yeah, thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys after the weekend.